The night was quiet, too quiet. Ray Hoskins, a long-haul trucker, had been driving for hours, his eyes heavy with exhaustion as the clock struck 1:30 a.m. Somewhere past the Texas-Oklahoma border, he found himself on a deserted stretch of highway, the kind where the silence feels oppressive, like it's swallowing everything around him. Through his tired eyes, Ray saw something ahead, a shadow, a figure, standing motionless in the middle of the road. He squinted, trying to make it out, but before he could react, the figure vanished like it was never there. His heart skipped a beat as he tried to shake off the chill creeping down his spine. The truck's engine hummed steadily, but the silence was soon broken by a crackling noise, the CB radio. Ray barely noticed it at first, but then a voice came through, faint, chilling, almost a whisper. "Go back." His pulse quickened, and the hairs on his neck stood on end. He glanced around the dark road, unsure of what he had just heard. Then there were the headlights. Two bright beams appeared in his rearview mirror, rapidly closing in. Ray moved over, letting the vehicle pass. But it didn't. The headlights stayed, inching closer, relentless. His hands gripped the wheel tighter, unease growing with every passing second. And then, as if in a twisted dream, the truck pulled up beside him. But there was something terribly wrong. The driver's seat was empty, no one behind the wheel, yet the truck was moving as if it were alive. Ray's breath caught in his throat. He was not alone on this road, and whatever was with him wasn't human. The CB crackled once more, the voice low and ominous. "Get off the road." Ray's heart hammered in his chest. Was it a warning? Was it a threat? He didn't know. But one thing was clear: the road was no longer just a road. It was something else entirely. As Ray pressed on, the fog began to thicken. The trees lining the highway seemed to grow closer, towering over him, as if trying to swallow the truck whole. The road narrowed, and the darkness intensified. He could barely see the headlights ahead of him, the road feeling more like a tunnel with every mile. Then, up ahead, a sign. An exit. Ray's pulse fluttered with a sense of hope, and he swerved off the highway, aiming for the lights of a truck stop in the distance. He needed to get out of that fog, away from whatever had been following him. But the sense of dread didn't leave, not yet. The truck stop was a welcome sight. Bright lights, warm food. But as Ray stepped inside, something felt off. The truckers around him spoke in hushed tones, their eyes lingering on him. Whispers filled the air about a ghost on Highway 64. Ray couldn't shake the feeling that the stories they were telling weren't just stories, they were warnings. As he ate, Ray dared to glance outside the window. What he saw made his stomach churn. A shadowy figure standing outside, staring right at him through the glass. It was the same figure from the road. His eyes widened, and when he blinked, the figure was gone, vanished into the night, like a mirage that never existed. His meal finished, Ray paid and stepped back out into the cold. But the feeling of being watched followed him. Footsteps echoed behind him, slow, deliberate. He turned. Nothing. No one was there. Just the wind and the dark parking lot. But he could still feel the eyes on him, staring from the shadows. Inside his truck, Ray locked the doors and settled down to sleep, trying to push the images from his mind. But he couldn't shake the feeling. Someone, or something, was still watching him. Every time he looked out the window, the shadows seemed to shift, like they were waiting for him to look away. The road had been waiting. The highway had been calling. And now, Ray knew he wasn't the only one who traveled it. He wasn't the only one who heard the whispers or saw the figures in the dark. Beware the ghost of Highway 64. It was real. And it was still out there, lurking in the fog.